Dealerships are just wonderful. Who doesn't love finance manager horror stories and sales reps reading spec sheets off their phone? Unfortunately, today we found a salesman that actually knows what he's talking about. Meet Brandon. Sun Sports Cycle and Watercraft in Fort Myers. This is the biggest selection of motorcycles I have ever seen. I actually need help from the salesperson to show me around, even though I've been riding for 30 years and pretty much thought I knew everything under the sun. So right here,
I'm Brandon. I want to show a couple of the new bikes that we got here at Sun Sports. The first one is going to be the all-new Kawasaki Z900. This is a really nice price point naked bike, inline 4. It's going to do about 127 horsepower and 60 foot-pounds of torque. It's a really fun ripper. Some of the new upgrades on it is all new bodywork. They also added cruise control, which was much needed if you're on a naked bike. Ride-by-wire, if you look, really nice. And then a touchscreen, TFT. If you look at the other bikes, that's basically the last gen. They're a little bit outdated. They don't have the same controls on them. It's very nice to have a bike from Kawasaki that's nice and upgraded. A lot of people that have the ZX6s are going to this bike.
especially now with all of that
recall, right? So a lot of people with the ZX6s are going to something like this. You can also rise up the
Now, are they accepting trades on the ZX6, or do people just parking their ZX6s and buying this?
Well, I mean, obviously you can get more in marketplace. Right?
Yeah, of course.
I'm not gonna,
No, but I wasn't even sure if you were allowed to sell it now,
Well,
I know the dealers aren't, but I didn't know.
Kawasaki reimburses you for the work, right?
Got you.
So it's costing Kawasaki a lot of money right now.
Gotcha.
I have a 23 ZX6, so I'm
just made it.
I'm pretty lucky. I bought the older gen because it's just a little bit less restricted, right? Now the new ZX6s look good. They got the well-needed upgrades, right? Finally compete with some of the newer gen super sports, right? So it's a cool bike.
It's always been a great bike. I had a 2012 ZX6.
Okay.
The only reason I don't rebuy the same bike is because I paid $10,000 for a brand new back then. Now I can't find it for less than $8,500. I'm not spending $1,500 less than what I paid brand new 14 years ago. No.
I know, and that's the thing. Is like a lot of people when they post that stuff on marketplace, that market has become scarce because people can't finance unless they're going to go and get like a Suncoast. A lot of people are doing Suncoast drafts and they're going on to marketplace and hand them cashier's checks.
Now what is that? I've never heard of that. Suncoast drafts?
Suncoast is like a credit union.
Oh, okay.
And they do motorcycle stuff. So you get like a personal loan or whatever. You go out and you buy it used, but look at the R6 market. That is just that.
They want more for it than it was brand new.
That's
Crazy.
the craziest thing. I wish, I'd like an R6 for the track. It's a good track bike, for anywhere up to beginner to the expert. I mean, it's a great bike.
There's a guy I saw on YouTube. Pretty decent sized channel. It's called Thought Taking.
I know Matthew Woods. He got
He bought the track version and then spent like $1,000 to get it upgraded to street legal. That's smart because it ended up being less than buying a 2020.
Less than buying one on marketplace.
Yeah.
One of the cool things is if you look at his channel, you look at his reviews on the R9. A lot of positive stuff going on right there.
And the fact that originally he was skeptical of it leads me to believe what he's saying about the bike. It's one thing if you're a fanboy, you can say whatever you want, but if you're skeptical and then you're like, oh, you know what, never mind, I changed my mind about this bike, that goes a long way.
I sold the only one that came in here.
All right.
And I've rode with the guy. He loves it, and a lot of stuff with the R9 is, you can go on your screen and check your weather on the motorcycle. You don't got to go out, you don't even got to pull your phone out. You can link your Cardo up to the device so you can use your panels here instead of having to take your hand off. It's a really neat bike.
And that pisses me off because I have a 2021 R1, which is not, think about it, they haven't changed the R1 except for the winglets. You know what I mean?
And the Brembos, but...
Yeah, but I don't have a gas gauge. You can check your weather on the R9, but I can't know how much gas is left in my tank? Come on, man.
I have a 210 factory, so I got the same problem.
Yeah, dude, that's a nice bike.
It's really fun for the street, pops and wheelies. But
that's like the naked bike that's faster than the sport bike, dude. It's like that thing top speed is like 175 miles an hour.
It looks good, but then you look at the Ducati Street Fighter V4.
Yeah, it's faster.
I had some guy I'm buddies with. He has it dynoed with an acro system on it, and he said it's doing like who knows if this is to the wheel, but you said it's doing like 220. So
It's probably to the wheel, because if you think about it, the R1 is 200 from the crank out of the factory. The Ducati, after the guy tuned it,
probably more 220.
yeah,
220.
that got to be to the wheel.
The V4s are fun, but they're really hot.
Yeah.
You turn the thing on, you get on the bike, it's 190 degrees.
Yeah, especially under the seat. That's where all the heat is. It's like right under you, you know?
Yeah, but the Desmo valves are cool because you see they, two of them turn off, so it's going out that way instead of the other way. We got the new DR4s in.
Let's go check it out.
You'll never see a Suzuki that has an electric start on it with off-road capabilities. Suzuki with the electric start.
Are you saying except this one, or
Well, I mean,
including this, you won't see it?
Obviously, the on-road has the electric start.
But this one has it, is what you're saying?
Yeah, like the older ones had it, sure, but it's the closest thing we'll get to an electric start RMZ.
So the new ones are what, kickstart?
The new RMZs, they're dirt bikes. All of them are kickstart.
Really? I did not know that.
That's why we don't have any. What are we gonna do? Sell that.
Are they carved also, or just kickstart?
No, they're fuel injected.
All right.
But they're kickstart, which is weird, right?
Yeah.
But these things are pretty cool. That's an all new bike. The Gear 4 SM. That'd be a fun supermoto for like the street. It comes street ready and pops good wheelies from what I've heard.
Allegedly.
We have a KTM 450.
Where's that?
In the back. KTM was one of the first manufacturers to do tariffs. Right?
Really?
Going out of business, and then to make it worse for themselves, they do tariffs, right?
That's what I heard. But then I heard somebody bought them out.
Yeah, some Indian company.
Yes, you know what? I've been to Colombia and they have their bikes over there. I can't remember the name of it, but I actually did a video out there looking at the bikes. They sell them in the supermarket. You go into the supermarket, you push your shopping cart right up to the motorcycles. You can buy a bike and ride home with it.
That's pretty
And that company was one of their main bikes. I can't remember what it was called though.
So this is the new, it's a 25.5 450 factory. So if anyone watches, racing, this is Aaron Plessinger's bike or Chase Sexton. They ride this exact bike, basically. Same thing, probably other than the suspension setup. It's already got all the graphics on it, right? All the sponsors. Triple clamps are all aftermarket. Steering head. It's beautiful.
So this is a used bike?
This is new. It's
Oh,
all new.
so it comes with the aftermarket from the factory?
This is how it comes from the factory. It's pretty
Got
cool.
you.
Look at the disc cover. It's great. Brembo brakes, disc cover. I mean, this is all from the factory, right?
Yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah, rental sprockets on it, Henson clutch case on it. So that's all from, you're getting an aftermarket, clutch on it. It's really nice.
Yeah, and that's great because now somebody that wants to upgrade, put all the upgrades, but they don't want to kill the value of their bike, it comes from the factory. That's great.
At the Povich exhaust on it. I know, it's pretty kick-ass.
Yeah, that's amazing. Now this one's obviously not street legal.
This
Nah,
isn't
it's a
street
regular
legal.
dirt bike. Yeah, this is nice.
Probably the most expensive dirt bike we have.
What does this go for MSRP?
13, 14,
Yeah.
15. But then you look at all the parts on it.
Yeah,
I
of
mean,
course. No, it makes total sense.
If you were to do it yourself, it would be the same thing. I mean, seriously, it is.
And they did the right thing because let me tell you, I also have a Grom in addition to the R1. And there's so many upgrades that I want to do to it. I haven't done them yet. I've been meaning to. I've had the bike since 2018. I just never get around to it. But it's like if that bike was the way it should be, it'd be an $8,000 bike and nobody would buy it. So they make it the way they make it. And then if you want to throw a better suspension, better clutch, better brakes, that's on you to do over time. But this just comes already the way that it needs to come. That's great.
It's pretty, yeah. Aftermarket tires on it. I mean, it's really nice from the factory. It's cool to see a bike like this in it. I'm a big moto guy, and this is the top quality stuff. And I'm a Yamaha guy.
Yeah.
Right. So you look at Yamaha. And I wish Yamaha did something like that. They did their Star Racing, and they put their 250s and 450s. That would sell. Because if you look at their Monster Edition bikes, we don't have any because we sell them all.
Yeah.
Yamaha kind of has something like this, but all they do is put graphics on it. Charge $500 for monster stickers.
Now I notice you guys don't have an R1 in here unless I just passed over. Is that because they sell so fast, or you just don't carry it in stock?
for some reason this year Yamaha, you don't see a lot of 25 R1s out there. You don't see a lot of R1s out there. If you look on Marketplace, you know, people are selling them for more than what they paid for. And it's a great bike. It's it's everyone's favorite bike, right? So you have to love an R1.
That's why I bought mine. I wanted it for years. I didn't want to spend the money. 2021 came around, I started seeing how everything was getting more expensive, and I'm like, you know what, it's either now or never. So I jumped on it, you know. But even then, it was so hard to find one. I had to find, call 6 different dealerships before I found they had one in stock. I ran and grabbed it ASAP.
Yeah. And like this year, we got one, and it sold out already. I've been trying to get one, but I'd rather just go through, Yamaha personally. And but
you saying you want to get one for yourself or another one in the shop to sell?
We'd love to get another one in the shop. We've had someone with the deposit on one. They've ordered one since March.
Really?
And was it almost July now? Yeah. No sign of if they're getting it. And then in Broward, over in the East Coast in Miami.
That's where I'm from.
They just sold a regular R1. It's not even the R1M. And guess how much they sold it for?
Well, since you're saying that, I'm gonna guess 27.
33.
Are you serious? Mine was 17.5, bro. That is crazy.
That's how bad people want these bikes now.
Wow, man. I'm glad I was smart enough to do that when I had the chance, man. Wow. I daily this thing, bro. I'm 42 years old, and I love it so much. I literally daily that bike. I just hit 20,000 miles on it. And that's only because for the first 2 years, I lived a half a mile from my job. So it's like, I'm out there, and I love this thing. This is the first thing I've ever owned that felt as good after I owned it that it did leading up to it. You're like, oh, I want that, and then it just becomes another thing that you don't care about.
Yeah.
That never happened with this bike, man.
It's good. That's good to know because I'm in the market for one right now. So. But it's the thing is, you got to go up north to really get good riding. I mean, the R1, I'm sure it's real fun.
Yeah. But even still, for me, let me tell you something, bro. I slowed it down a lot. 10, 15 years ago, I was doing 160 everywhere I went. Back then, I would have enjoyed this bike a lot more. Now, I don't want the problems. I keep it under 100, and it's like, bro, that's first gear. You know what I mean? So it's like every once in a while I let it rip, but it's not like how it used to be. You know what I mean?
You can just keep the thing in first gear, and that's why Yamaha's trying to phase in R9 because it's just overall for the street. You have a bike with really good torque, which the R9 does. It's going to be a lot better than getting an R1 and you ride it, and you're in third gear, and that's the max. That's the fastest.
Bro, you can't even get off the clutch until 20 miles an hour. Do you know what it's like going through a school zone on that bike, bro?
When I first got the Tuono factory, it was a buddy of mine. He bumped it up the sprocket.
Yeah.
So the gears were a little bit more wrung out, and you're letting go of the clutch. You let it go, and you're going 25 miles an hour.
I'm thinking about going the other way. Since the R1 is limited by speed, 186 miles an hour, but you can get there in fifth gear. You got a whole nother gear to work with after that.
You got a dyno in.
What I'm thinking about doing, though, instead of that, because I have no need to go past there, but I like to retain my top speed and get more torque on the low end. So if I throw maybe 2 more teeth on the back sprocket and then get the speedo healer to fix the speedometer, I feel like it'll still cut me at the same 186, but at that point, that's all the bike will get. It'll take all the power to get up to that 186, but I'll still get way more performance down low. I have to look into it. I'm not a mechanic. I don't know if that's gonna work, but in theory, it sounds about right. You know what I mean?
It sounds pretty cool. That is pretty cool. So, having more power on a. But even if you put it, you're basically just hitting on it. Imagine doing a hit on that against any other motorcycle, and you can't keep the front tire down.
Well, that's the nice thing about the lift control. Do you know how the lift control works exactly? Have you ever experienced it though?
Yeah.
It doesn't cut power. It just stops you from lifting up. So it cuts just enough power to keep the wheel on the ground, but it doesn't slow you down. It's not like traction control in the car.
Or it just flips it out, yeah.
Yeah, so you'll rip the throttle, the wheel will come up about this much, and then right back down, and you're gone. It's not like it slows you up. So that's insane right there.
That's pretty cool, yeah.
Man.
I got it on the Tuono, so I turn it off because it's more fun to.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. But I turn it on when I want it to be on, though. That's the whole thing. It's like when you're going on a strip and you want to race somebody, you throw that on, and now you could just open up and you don't have to worry about losing speed. That's when you want to use it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But brother, it was great to meet you, man.
Nice to
I'm
meet
Doug.
you. Brandon, nice to meet you.
All right, everybody, you make sure that you let Brandon know, or you let me know in the comments if you're gonna show up here. We don't have anything worked out. I don't want anything for it, but I'm just curious on how much of you guys actually come down here and check this place out, because it's amazing. I've never in my life been to a dealership like this, bro.
It's pretty big, and we do about 200 units a month. So.
Ay, Douglas Antonio.